Hello everybody and welcome back to my F1 2013 career mode. Today it is season 3 round 9 and we head to Germany for the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring after that incredibly painful result in Silverstone where we could have scored a victory was it not for Alonso and Early coming together with just a handful of laps remaining and Vettel storming to an unlikely victory. Well, we could have been much closer in the championship fight. Instead, we're 47 points off the lead in the championship now, and only 12 points clear of my teammate Kimi Räikkönen. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull took the lead. I think they got a 1-2 finish in Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. They're ahead of Mercedes, and Lotus have slipped to 3rd place. It's an overcast weekend here for the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring. It's one of my favourite. It's actually my favourite circuit on the calendar. So it's qualifying one. Really, because it's my favourite circuit on the calendar, I want to aim for pole position today. And it all starts here in Q1 on the Prime tyres. Although this is my favourite track on the calendar and one of my favourite circuits in the world, I also think it's a downgrade on what it used to be back in the 90s with the old first chicane. So I started my first flying lap right behind Pascal Wehrlein. I wasn't really thinking about that. And we have traffic. He's encountering traffic. It's a BMW Sauber. So we've got two backmarker cars right in front of me, slowing me down. Right, we'll just go around the outside of him, shall we? At the hairpin. Mate, get out of the way. I don't care if it's your first home Grand Prix. Please move out of the way. We can go much quicker. Ricciardo with 33.3 on his first lap. Across the line we go with 33.1. Only 2 tenths quicker than the Benetton. We'll stick at it and do a second lap. I stuck at it for a second lap, but it is slower than the first one. I'm guessing the 33.1 should be enough to get through anyway. Thankfully, the back markers are so slow that the 33.1 was only good enough for 13th place, but it's still 2 seconds clear of the cut-off time. Felipe Nasser knocked out, along with Marcus Ericsson, Valtteri Bottas, Stoffel Van Dorn, Pascal Wehrlein and Esteban Gutierrez returns to being the slowest on the grid, whilst Fernando Alonso tops the session. And now we move on to the second stage of qualifying where Early is aiming for a top 10 result in this session. We've got the option tyres on the car, which fits perfectly with the colour of the yellow on the livery. Right now we're 3 tenths up on Perez's P10 time through the first sector. And the time through the second sector is only up by 1/10 of a second. So maybe we're not carrying too much pace today. And up towards the line we go. It's going to be a 31.6. It's only 8th place. We need to go quicker. We're out at the end of the session. I think I need another lap here to be safe in the top 10. Only up by 1/2 tenth on my previous best in the first sector. As we now have been pushed down to 9th place. And through the second sector, we're up by 1/10.5. So all depending on this final sector. Across the line we go. It's a 31.3 up to 7th place. And we should be safe with that lap. Alonso and Hamilton topping the session with Räikkönen in 3rd. James Early squeezes through in 7th place, but he's a distance off the pace of his teammate and the front runners so far. Sergio Perez knocked out, and Carlos Sainz is as well ahead of his teammate Max Verstappen. Hülkenberg at his home Grand Prix out qualifying his teammate Daniel Ricciardo, but they're both knocked out in Q2, and Will Stevens in 16th place. One final stage of qualifying to go. I'm not feeling too confident, but we'll give it one good go right at the end of the session. Maybe 2 back-to-back flying laps. Here we go then. 2 flying laps to try and topple Fernando Alonso's provisional pole. Well, we're down by 4.5 tenths on Alonso's time in the first sector, so I don't think I'm going to be troubling that time. And 8.5 tenths down in the second sector. My God, we're nowhere near. We've got one more attempt, but it doesn't look good. We're 1.8 seconds off pole position. Well, this second run is slightly better, but only slightly. Looks like it's going to be a top 10. Definitely, it's going to be 10th place, I reckon. Alonso on pole ahead of my teammate Räikkönen. Hamilton and Vettel sharing the second row. Then we have Nico Rosberg, Jules Bianchi, Robert Kubica in the second Ferrari, Kevin Magnussen, the only McLaren in the top 10. Will Power, an ever-present figure in the top 10 in qualifying. And James Early, 1.1 seconds off the pace. And it was nothing to do with making a mistake. It was just lack of speed. But the team is... they're ecstatic. They're thinking, wow, Pastor Maldonado. Oh, I mean, James Early, well done for that top 10. Here we are, race day for the German Grand Prix. And we have 28% chance of rain. So we're going to see some wet weather at some point during the 60-lap race. If it stays dry, it's going to be option prime, option, a 3-stop. As the tyre wear here is going to be extreme. And the chase for the podium is going to be extreme as well. And that's what we're aiming for, a top 3 in this race. Well, there's only one more thing to do, and that's go racing. The 2013 German Grand Prix is next. We're aiming for the podium, whatever it takes. 3, 4, and 5 lights, and we are underway for the German Grand Prix. It's going to be a winding run down towards turn 1, braking downhill as well, which is always troublesome. There's definitely a bottleneck. Into the first corner we go. That was Will Power to the inside. I'm trying to split through one of the McLarens. I'm getting hit by Benetton behind. I think that's Hulkenberg. And he's going around the outside. It's his home Grand Prix and he's trying to put a show on for the fans. Rosberg, though, a fellow German, losing positions off the start. I'm going to dive it up the inside of Perez. Round the outside of Rosberg, who's trying to get around Kubica, who's stuck to the inside. I've lost half a front wing because I've been hit by... I don't even know who it was. I get a warning for causing a collision for some reason. I don't know why. And around the outside there of Rosberg we go, maybe to the inside of Magnussen for the following right-hander. We can't quite do it. And I've got understeer now because of the damage. So my race potentially ruined on that one. Will Power's made a good start. He's up to 6th. He was just challenging there. Jules Bianchi or Robert Kubica. I don't know which Ferrari is the lead Ferrari right now. As we're in 8th place, we have made moves on this opening lap. But that damage... Oh, well, that damage, it might harm us. Focus up here. We've got to focus up. Got to lock in. The bollard's gone at turn 1. And I saw... Oh, I've ran over it. Nice. Lucky that didn't do any more damage to the car. There's no grip out here. And... I've forgotten how to talk. I don't even know what I was going to say there. The car is handling not good at all. It feels horrible. The car is sliding around on corner exit. And it's understeering on corner entry. Right. Okay, that was a terrible run through that chicane, and now it's given Rosberg a chance. The Red Bull driver is braking round the outside, and he's going to hold the speed round the outside. We've had a hit there from the Red Bull, the German of Rosberg, really getting his elbows out in this battle. The 3 cars in front are battling away for 5th position. So whilst they're battling, maybe I can start to close up. And there's a wing off there on the right-hand side, and a car off the circuit, and it's Kevin Magnussen. He's missing half his front wing now, I believe. And now we've got a run on the McLaren around the outside. We're going to take that position away from him. And Rosberg about to pounce as well. Understeer is definitely the worst through these series of corners in the first sector. I think I'm losing a load of time to the drivers ahead just through those 2 corners. We were 8/10 quicker on the previous lap, but that was purely because Power and Magnussen came together, I think. That's the state of the tyres on lap 5. Oh my gosh. And that front wing that's damaged. It's not for the first time this season Will Power's been involved in an accident. Definitely in Australia he had a couple of incidents, and throughout the year he's definitely been in the wars. I'd say the damaged front wing is contributing to the excessive tyre wear. Is that another driver off the circuit? That's one of the Ferraris. That's Bianchi. And further up, I think he made contact with Sebastian Vettel as I've gone straight into the gravel. So that's going to compromise my exit. And Bianchi's going to get a run now with DRS as well. He's going to pick the outside line, is he? No, backs out of it. And Perez is going to capitalise and move up a position. Hamilton, 36.9 for the fastest lap. That's over a second quicker than my quickest. Turn, man. This car just does not want to turn around these corners. I really hope they fix the damage on the front wing. We need a new front wing. Unfortunately, in this game, you can't select whether to repair or not. It's automatically done. It's Alonso, Raikkonen, and Hamilton, the top 3 right now. So my Lotus teammate vying for the victory whilst I'm struggling to keep up with a Marussia. The only good news about this is Sebastian Vettel is struggling as well. He's under pressure from Will Power, and he's only in 4th place. Carlos Sainz now the driver behind the Toro Rosso, who started outside the top 10. I think he started down in 12th. He's made a good start to this Grand Prix. Despite the severe understeer in the tyre wear, I'm actually keeping up with these guys. So Vettel definitely struggling as well, which I'm happy to see.
Massa into the pits in the next 5 laps.
Okay, Massa, who retired last season, is into the pits in the next 5 laps, just so you're all aware. Oh, and there's a wing flying off a car in front, and I'm pretty sure they just hit fresh air. I don't think they actually made contact with each other. Oh, and I think I know who lost the front wing. That's my teammate, Kimi Raikkonen, slowing up. And suddenly Raikkonen tumbling down the field. He is missing a lot of his car. He's missing the whole front wing there. And around the outside goes early to move up into 5th place. The tyre's severely worn now. We need to do 2 more laps to make it to the pre-approved pit stop lap. As Robert Kubica is now retired from the race. The first driver to fall from the German Grand Prix is the Polish Robert Kubica. I'm losing so much time per sector now because of these tyres. I think we just need to box this lap instead of next lap. Yep, they're absolutely destroyed. Nothing left in them. As we get passed by Carlos Sainz, and now we're side by side with Jules Bianchi. Going to defend from the Ferrari through the S as we go. And I've been hit by Bianchi. I've been hit by the Ferrari, and off I go. And through goes Rosberg and Jules Bianchi, and I'm down to 8th place. We're boxing for the prime tyres. Hindsight, I should have boxed on about lap 10 before the tyres started falling off the cliff. In we go, though, on lap 12 from 8th place, pitting for the prime tyres. And it's a new front wing going on the car, which is the happiest sight I've seen today. We're going to rejoin in a bit of traffic in the midfield in 12th, maybe even 13th place. There's a car on my outside. It's Magnussen. We defend from him. It's 12th place on the rejoin. And that's Ricciardo boxing. There's a few other drivers into the pits as well on the end of lap 13. I should be back inside the points. There's a driver rejoining. That's got to be Jules Bianchi. Down towards turn 1 we go. And this is for 10th position. I'm going to go around the outside of the Frenchman who made contact with me a couple of laps ago. He's on the option tyres. The next two cars in front are the two Marushas. One of them is boxing. It's Will Stevens. So I'm going to move up another position. And that's much better. A 36.5 on these fresh tyres. With another couple of drivers in the pits as well, including Rosberg is just rejoining. We'll go around the outside of the Red Bull through turn 1. Up to 7th place we go. Oh, that's a lock up there. Got to be careful. We don't want to push these tyres too much. We are on the primes. And a lot of the drivers around me on the option tyres. I had to switch the strategy though, because the option tyres on my car are barely lasting 10 laps. We are catching on willpower. The gap at the start of the lap was about 2.5 seconds. It is now 1.6 seconds. Hopefully we can keep this pace up. And it's another personal best lap, 36.3. We're almost within a second of willpower. Carlos Sainz, though, has the fastest lap of the race. We just need a nice, clean move here. Oh, I was half tempted to send it up the inside into this left-hander. That would have been risky. But the next left-hander up the hill, if there's space to the inside, willpower just about offering me that space. We're going to go wheel-to-wheel with the Marussia. I'm going to force him out wide a little bit. And he backs out of the move. I think he's ran wide and lost a bit of momentum as well. We're up to 6th place. I'm still nowhere near the race leader's pace. Hamilton at 35.198. And I'm going to be in the 136ers. And now it's Sebastian Vettel next up for 5th. He's 2 seconds in front. The target originally was to get a podium in this race. But just beating Sebastian Vettel, the championship leader, would be enough satisfaction for me. Do I see a Toro Rosso inside the top 5 yet to pit? I think I do. We might have a run on Vettel here where we overtook Will Power. I'll pick the outside line on the German and in front of his home crowd. Early steams through inside the top 5. That was not even a contest. A nice easy move. Verstappen surely yet to pit in this race in 4th position ahead. Well, it's Hamilton leading Alonso. Sainz is in 3rd place and that's a net 3rd place. He has had a pit stop. And Verstappen in 4th. Both Toro Rossos in the top 5. They're having themselves a great afternoon. We'll look to make short work of Max Verstappen here. We already overtook 2 drivers into this corner. Let's make it 3. Maybe around the outside here of the Dutchman. 17-year-old, and around the outside we do go. He squeezed me to the outside then. There was barely room to fit my Lotus. But we managed it. And Sebastian Vettel has made it past Max Verstappen. He must be inside the pits now. And his teammate, Carlos Sainz, 8 seconds in front of me in 3rd place. No way I'm racing a Toro Rosso for a podium and currently losing. Sainz is pulling away by over a second a lap. There's nothing I can do to combat that pace that the Toro Rosso has right now. Even with the pace deficit to the top 3, we're still pulling away from Sebastian Vettel in 5th. So right now we'd be closing the gap to the championship leader. Verstappen 34.6 on the previous lap. He's of course been into the pits in the past number of laps. So he's on fresh tyres, but that is ridiculously quick. As the state of our tyres halfway through this stint looks like that. We need to make it to lap 32, and then I'm going to box for another set of the primes. 34.6 yet again from Verstappen, setting the pace. Going through all this back marker traffic means that Carlos Sainz right now is not pulling away from me. The gap is stationary around about 9 or 10 seconds. So we know it's going to be raining for a quarter of this race. So when I pit on lap 32 for a new set of the primes, we could go all the way to lap 52 before making a switch. And by that point, I imagine it'll be intermediate conditions. Gap's 2.5 back to Vettel. I think he's slowly creeping closer now as we're about to hit half race distance. Perez dipping into the 133s now with that fastest lap. Close to 3 seconds quicker than my fastest lap. It shows what fresh tyres can do. He's lapping 4 seconds quicker than me right now. And now we're up to 3rd place because Carlos Sainz has gone into the pits. That's his 2nd pit stop of the race. Lewis Hamilton also boxing, so that means his teammate Fernando Alonso is taking the race lead. And Carlos Sainz, after his pit stop, right on the rear of my car. They were already under pressure. There's a car rejoining up ahead, and that's Stoffel Van Dorn. He's a lap down. And Hamilton back into the lead because his teammate Alonso's in the pits. The two Mercedes really running away with it today. There goes Sainz to the inside for the chicane. The AIs don't really like making moves up the inside, though. They're usually around the outside kind of guys. And Marcus Ericsson has dropped out of the race, so it's not really relevant to our race. We're going to box here on lap 31 for another set of the prime tyres. I'm going to box before my tyres fall off the cliff this time. So we're going to rejoin here on the new prime tyres in 9th position. Applying the pressure to Rosberg here is stuck up behind the Marussia of Will Power. We're in DRS range now of those two. We want to make short work of them. Rosberg struggling so badly on the exit of the chicane, and both him and Power into the pits. And that's Max Verstappen also into the pits. So we're back up to 6th position. 35.6, that's my personal best lap as we start lap 34. About 10 seconds to Vettel. I'm sure he hasn't pit again yet, though. So we should be ahead of him in the net race positions. 33.1 from Alonso. I am absolutely nowhere near that pace. I'm going to go across the line with my personal best of 35 flat. It's Hamilton, Alonso, Sainz, Perez and Vettel the top 5. Perez and Vettel have both undercut me. They've had their second stops. I just didn't know about it. So we're now in 6th place, a net 6th place. And 15 minutes until light rain arrives. Hopefully these prime tyres are still in working order by the time the rain arrives so we can go straight onto the intermediates. We got Max Verstappen tucked right behind me. So it's a repeat of the end of the previous stint when I had Carlos Sainz right behind me. It's just the sister Toro Rosso this time. And we're into the 134s. Things are looking pretty good. Perez has been passed by Sebastian Vettel, so things are looking not so good. Oh, that's because he's in the pits and we've moved past the McLaren driver. Oh, that's a massive lock-up into turn 1. That might give Sergio Perez 5th place back, but the McLaren driver's not there to pounce. Okay, now only 10 minutes to the light rain. The tyres look like that right now on lap 38. They should hold out until the rain arrives. Continuing to defend from Sergio Perez, who has a great run down towards turn 1. The McLaren driver looking to go around the outside of James Early. Early, though, forcing him out wide at turn 1, not letting him through. And in fact, Perez has lost out to Max Verstappen, the 17-year-old slotting into 6th place. So the ideal way this works out is Vettel boxes for new dry tyres, and then it starts raining just before the switch to intermediates. So essentially, I get back ahead of Vettel in a net race position, and then we box for the intermediates at the same time. And we're getting a couple places due to drivers in the pits. We're back up to 3rd place. So we just need to hold this 3rd place until the rain arrives. And now Carlos Sainz right after his pit stop on the back of me. 7 tenths behind as we are 20 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton. His teammate Alonso now leads the Grand Prix. Now we're expecting rain any point now. We have 16, 17 laps to go after this lap. I think Sainz got rear-ended by, it might have actually been his own teammate Verstappen in the background. Somebody definitely lost the front wing. Whoa, back end stepping out. I think we see the first few drops of rain starting to fall. So we need to time this pit stop perfectly to avoid being jumped by Carlos Sainz. Around the outside, Sainz is trying to go through turn 1. That's never going to work. And the rain is starting to intensify. I reckon maybe this lap, maybe the next lap, it'll be intermediate conditions. I'm thinking we just box now. I might just take the risk and box now. I don't want to lose out to Sainz, because it's definitely very, very wet out here. We're going to box. Worst comes to worst, that is maybe a lap too early, but we'll see. We have one of the Toro Rossos in the pits as well with me. I think that's Max Verstappen boxing. Are they putting the intermediate tyres on? No, they're putting the option tyres on. We're going to rejoin here in 4th position. I don't think it's quite intermediate tyres yet. At least track grip doesn't feel like it, but it'll definitely be soon. And Hamilton back into the race lead ahead of his teammate Alonso. As we've seen another retirement, it's Kevin Magnussen, but that's not the big news. Sebastian Vettel currently down in 11th place, and right now not scoring a single point, as that's Carlos Sainz rejoining from his pit. This is the battle for 3rd place. This decides the podium places. Round the outside goes Early. The inside line for turn 2, and we're back up into 3rd. Been a tough old slog today to get to this position, but holding on to this P3 will be a very just reward for what we've had to go through after that first lap collision, of course, and the terrible first stint. Out of position in qualifying, maybe. We just had poor pace in qualifying, starting down in 10th place. But to be up in the podium right now and outscoring championship leader Vettel, I think we'd be very pleased with that. And the rain, really, really heavy right now. The track is absolutely soaked. Maybe it will go into wet conditions and will require wet tyres. It's only 11 seconds to Hamilton as well. I think he actually boxed twice. One for the options and then quickly again for the intermediate. So we've sliced the lead to second place man Hamilton by quite a margin. Sainz all over me. We should have boxed on the previous lap, I think, for the wet tyres. We're going to have them selected for the next lap, though. Oh, wide we go. That's going to give Sainz a chance. There's absolutely no grip out here. Fernando Alonso boxes from the lead of the race. Oh, that's a massive lockup. We're going straight on there. Hopefully we don't get a penalty for corner cutting. It's going to slam on my brakes automatically. And into the pits we go then. From third place for the wet tyres. It's the wet tyres going on the car. 3.1 seconds stop. So we'll remain ahead of Carlos Sainz. We now wait to see where the drivers who pit the previous lap are. We're going to rejoin here in third place. Oh, that's Bottas. Nice one, mate. Letting me through on the outside there. Not the ideal run through that corner. We have about 8 laps to go here. We just need to hold on to this third position. 6 laps to go now. We're 2 seconds clear of Sainz. Miles behind Alonso and Hamilton. But that's fine. The question for today's video is, what brings you here to watch F1 Let's Play videos? For me personally, I like watching storylines develop throughout seasons and interesting things happen and driver switches and team changes. But what do you like to see? Let me know down in the comments below. And what will this result mean for the championship? Is Hamilton still realistically within a shout? We'll have to wait to see the standings after this race. Alonso definitely is, and with Vettel down the pack today, that is good signs for both Alonso and Early. So Sebastian Vettel, the home favourite here, the crowd really turning up for him today, but he has not delivered for them. He's had 6 pit stops and currently languishing down in 10th position. It seems Raikkonen, he's got the bit between his teeth after the earlier incident where he lost his front wing. He's only a handful of seconds behind. I think he's right behind Sainz, battling for 4th place. And Raikkonen making it past the Toro Rosso. The Toro Rosso is kind of falling apart as the wet weather has fallen around the circuit. Raikkonen only 5 seconds behind me as the leaders are on the final lap. These points for Lotus could be crucial come the end of the season in our Constructors' battle, but Mercedes securing a 1-2 today will give the lead back to them. Red Bull having a stinker of an afternoon, quite frankly. And Alonso, victory here in the pouring rain of the Nürburgring. And out the final corner for the final time, James Early is going to secure a 3rd place finish. We finished 52 seconds behind the Mercedes of Alonso, but a podium is a podium nonetheless. Alonso, Hamilton, Early completing that top 3. Kimi Raikkonen in 4th, ahead of the 2 Toro Rossos. It wasn't a podium like they'd hoped for Carlos Sainz, but 5th and 6th place for the team is still massive. Rosberg in 7th ahead of Will Power, Perez, and Vettel only scoring a single point. Bianchi missing out on the points, and so does Will Stevens. And then it's the 2 Benettons, Hulkenberg and Ricciardo. Then it's Verline, Van Dorn, Bottas, Nasser, Gutierrez. 3 retirements today. Kevin Magnussen, Marcus Ericsson and Robert Kubica. Now, what does that result mean for the championship? It means Vettel's lead is down to just 4 points, and James Early has closed the gap. He's only 33 off the lead now. But what could have been if we won in the last round at the Silverstone circuit? We could have been definitely within 10 points of the championship lead right now. Kimi Raikkonen in 4th position, slipping further behind his team yet again, but still scoring good points here today. And the 2 Toro Rosso drivers looking good in the championship. Max Verstappen in 9th and Carlos Sainz there in 13th position. In the Constructors, Mercedes have retaken the lead and Lotus have jumped up to 2nd. Red Bull have gone from 1st all the way down to 3rd in a single very poor weekend, as McLaren have made it well past 100 points scored for the season now. Toro Rosso's double points means they're in 5th place and they're the lead Italian team on the grid, ahead of the legendary Scuderia Ferrari. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed that video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and check out YouTube channel memberships if you want to support the channel further. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.